Sanbonani guys, Sanbonani. Hello everyone, this is Titus. I'm continuing in our subject physical sciences on the topic photoelectric effect. Before I continue with the question, I want you to hit the plus button and follow me. Thank you guys. Okay guys, this is the question. Question 10, May, June exams 2025. That is supplemental examinations. So the question paper is posted more to my bio and everything you see it. What again? Alright. Here's the graph here. On the y-axis, that is the dependent variables, we have maximum kinetic energy. Already here in the bracket, it's times 10 to the power minus 19 joules. The value for the maximum kinetic energy is 2.99. On the x-axis, independent variable, we have energy of photons, also in joules. So here's the value here. 3.68 times 10 to the power minus 19 joules. Alright, there is a point here which is y. Actually, this is an unknown value. Alright. Then, light of different frequencies is incident on a metal surface. The sketch graph below shows the relationship between the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons and the energy of the incident photons. That's the statement. Now, 10.1, define the term work. Oh yeah. So 10.1, it's about defining the work function of a metal. So you must be good with your theory. That is, good with the terms, definitions. Work function means minimum energy needed for an electron to be ejected on a metal surface. So defining like that, you get yourself 2 marks. Then it's 10.2. 10.2 now in this case says write down the numerical value of the gradient of the above graph. So the question is looking for the gradient in this graph here. Okay, let me explain this one. If this graph was about maximum kinetic energy versus frequency, the gradient there would be Planck constant. But now in this case we have maximum kinetic energy of photoelectrons and energy of photons. So my take on this now would be like the gradient here is going to be 1. Because we have energy there is increasing most or equally the same. So the gradient there is equal to 1. Gradient equals 1. So 10.3 says calculate maximum speed of the photoelectrons when photons with energy Y as shown on. Okay, let me repeat it again. Calculate the maximum speed of the photoelectrons when photons with energy Y, as shown on the graph, strike the metal plate. So when these photons have this energy here, strike the metal, what is the maximum velocity? That's what the question is asking for. What is the maximum velocity? So remember, maximum kinetic energy is equal to half mv max squared. This mass refers to mass of an electron. And this mass of electron, the value of it is found on the question paper at the back, on the data sheet, and you will find the mass there. Let's substitute. The maximum kinetic energy there is 2.99 times 10 to the power minus 19 equals to half half is half. And then the mass is 9,11 times 10 to the power minus 31. Then times V max squared. So remember, you write the correct formula, you get the mark. Then you substitute, you get the mark. So that's how we collect your marks. You see now in physical sciences. And then the third mark will be you manipulating this, finding the unknown. Your maths now must apply. So your Vmax now, remember, is squared. We're not looking for Vmax squared. We are looking for Vmax. So that means 2,99 times 10 to the power minus 19 divided by half times 9,11 times minus 31. Then you press this on your calculator. Let me press it for you. You say 2,99 exponent minus 19 divided by 1/2 times 9,11 exponent minus 31. The answer is this one. 810,198,4416. 810,198,44. Remember, the unit for velocity or for speed is meters per second. And you must round off to 2 decimal places. That's one of your instructions on the question paper. So this is the third mark right now. So this is a very big number. 810,198,44 meters per second. So photons are very small. They can move at a very high speed. Okay, that's the answer for this question, I believe. Then we move on to 10.3.2. The question says, calculate the value of y. Remember, y is here on the graph. So, look at this graph. This value, this tells me this is the work function. This is the work function of the metal. Therefore, if this is the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons, that means my y is my energy of the photon, which is equal to y. You see that? Therefore, this is y. I can say work function plus, remember this formula here? Then work function is 3,68 times 10 to the power minus 19 plus maximum kinetic energy is 2,99 times 10 to the power minus 19. Therefore, y is the same as E. Then you just press your calculator now there. How many marks there? 4 marks. And then you say 3,68 exponent minus 19 plus 2,99 exponent minus 19. Answer 6,67 exponent minus 19 joules. In other words, y is E. Okay, that's it. I believe this, and taking these two values on the graph, I think that's 4 marks for you. Okay. Okay, we are continuing with the question. We are doing now 10.4. 10.4. The question now says, photons with energy 4,02 times 10 to the power minus 19 joules strike the metal plate and photoelectrons are emitted. Okay, we had that. Next statement. The number of photons with energy 4,02 times 10 to the power minus 19 joules striking the metal plate per second is now increased. Number of photons with that energy now have been increased. So the question is like, how will the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons be affected? Choose from increases, decreases, or remains the same. Okay. The question now that you should be asking yourself is, what is the main question there? Photons with that energy. So number of photons. So once you hear number of photons, that means that have to do with intensity. Because intensity have to do with number of photons. So that means, in other words, the energy have not changed there. The energy has not changed. But the number of photons per second is now increasing. Therefore, what I'm going to say now. The question is, how will the maximum kinetic energy, the keyword maximum kinetic energy now, how will it be affected? That means remains the same. Remains the same. I assume that's remain the same because since I saw there, they are talking about number of photons with the same energy striking there, they increased. That means it tells me intensity. So if a change has been made in intensity and the energy has remained the same, because remember I said earlier on one of my videos, energy has to do with frequency. If the frequency remains the same, intensity has been increased, that means there's nothing will be affected when it comes to the maximum kinetic energy will not be affected when the intensity has been changed. So I think you will recall to that one. Therefore, give the reason now here. We would say now here, intensity or number of photons. Does not affect the maximum kinetic energy of photoelectrons. I think that's the reason there. So I assume that is intensity when they are talking about number of photons. So it has to do with intensity that has been increased now. So that's it for this question paper. For the choosing, 1 mark, and then for reasoning, and then also 2 marks. And then that's it, guys, for question 10. I hope you will comment, ask questions, please, guys. Feel free on my videos, please. I'm expecting your comments. Just ask questions. That's it. Thank you. Meet you on the next video.